What up? It's your boy T-Bone and Reaction. You probably hear the damn time in the back. We got the little man right here, keep him occupied. So, we're about to get you a video from about my good old favorite wrestler Rey Mysterio and the unfortunate with Rey Mysterio. The endless amount of wrestlers who have turned on Rey Mysterio. This is from WrestleMania. While Rey is definitely dubbed as one of the most over babyface of all time wrestling, where he had a very heel run at one point. And then WCW with the 50 ammo, though they was like somewhat considered tweeners, the first ever tweeners as well, but still, but majority of the time he's been faced, and most of the time during his run, he has been turned on the most as well too, more than Roman Reigns. You know, Roman Reigns, as a face getting turned on was messed up, but as a heel it was justified because first getting taking another boost. But one thing I dislike how certain wrestling fans put it as they say Ray was the problem, why he get turned on over time. I never no. It's just, it happens when you're sometimes when you're a good guy with a good heart. There's time that folks will not agree with your ways, and then it's going to turn to them not want to be with you around you anymore. I mean, even if it's out of like it's no harm, if it's no harm, sadly, that's all it is as well too. Even Sting experienced that a lot as well too, or you don't see stuff coming, or you make decisions that's you mean well, but it's not well thought out, and but other than that, let's check out the endless amount of WWE wrestlers who have turned on. But doesn't mean you're the problem as well too. It shouldn't mean you're the problem. I never liked folks saying that Ray was the problem or try to change the narrative that Ray was the real villain. I hate when people do that as well too, because it mess with folks who try to be good folks, and like try to do that fiction narrative to prove that there's no good folks, no such thing as a good person. So yeah, I kind of hate that. But anyway, let's get to it.
Every wrestler to turn on Rey Mysterio. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Eddie Guerrero. The partnership between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero came just at the right time in WWE. Both men were in their prime, and both men were insanely over with the audience. WWE decided that it was in everyone's best interest that instead of keeping them as a collective duo, they should be split and embark on a blood feud. At first, their matches had an element of sportsmanship, as it was very much presented as two friends just wrestling to see who's the better man on that particular day. However, when Mysterio won every major match in their program, Guerrero became increasingly frustrated and eventually snapped and turned on his tag team partner. This was a bold move from WWE.
Crazy thing that Dominic do the same thing like
be creative at the time, as Guerrero was arguably the single most popular wrestler in the entire company, and to turn him heel could have had a detrimental effect to the product. Thankfully, Guerrero made it work, just like he did with everything throughout his legendary career. WWE decided to take the feud between the two in such an unexpected manner, as the feud went in a dark direction, which saw
I like this storyline. I hate the outcome of the storyline, not because of everything, not because storyline in general, because dumb, stupid, dickhead, asshole fans who constantly just to be assholes or be troublemakers keep saying that Eddie is Dominic's real father and all that shit, and they're doing a lot since Dominic turned heel as well too. So they're really pushing that narrative, and that is so annoying as well too. That's why I don't care about folks pushing the Cody is invited to the cookout little thing because of everything. Because if you ain't tired of Dominic Eddie being Dominic father nonsense, then don't say shit about being tired of the Cody narrative either, Cody being black narrative either. So yeah.
Guerrero reveal that he was the actual
The,
biological
the
father
Cody Raheem Rose thing either then.
of Dominic Mysterio. The two would then settle their feud in a custody of Dominic Mysterio in a
Yup.
ladder match. Yeah, there were crazy times during that period.
I thought it might become too soap opera-ish for my personal taste. But the great thing about it was the payoff. Payoff was that ladder match. My God in heaven. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio in a ladder match.
How do you beat that?
And one dickhead move. This is when Dominic was a babyface and he started getting into wrestling. One dickhead, when the group's on, they're gonna say that Ray lost. You know, he lost because he was like a Dominic in the wrestling at the moment as well too. I mean, he's like one of the usual dickheads that he thinking he's above any other wrestling fan because he think he know more than everybody else, and would make folks feel less of a wrestling fan because of his thoughts as well too. So yeah.
Yeah, where are you going to see that again?
Right.
Let's say he's
what's the
another
reason
Awful
for
Dave.
This match?
Catch my
Well, it had a
drift.
great reason. It had a wonderful stipulation.
Bryce
everybody
know what I
could
mean.
understand. And it let two of the greatest workers in the world, in Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, go out there and do their thing. My sense is they let Eddie and Ray write the music.
The feud between Guerrero and Mysterio became one of the most memorable and celebrated
Indeed.
rivalries of the Ruthless
Facts.
Aggression era, and it's easy to see why fans still talk about moments and matches from the feud almost 2 decades after the feud came to a close. Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 22 was the crowning moment of Rey Mysterio's career, as he would finally become world champion. Mysterio's reign wasn't exactly great, as Vince McMahon clearly resented the fact that Mysterio was world champion. Mysterio
FM Vince.
often lost clean on TV, and there was a major credibility issue with his reign. Mysterio's world title reign came to an end at the Great American Bash pay-per-view in 2006, as Mysterio would drop the title to King Booker after Chavo Guerrero bashed Mysterio over the head with a steel chair. Mysterio and Guerrero were presented as on-screen friends, yet it was apparent from the fans' perspective that Guerrero was plotting his heel turn. As for why Guerrero turned on Mysterio, Guerrero would claim in a promo that Mysterio had used the late great Eddie Guerrero's name to succeed, and Mysterio had tarnished Eddie's memory.
I mean, look, I've said it before, and Vince.
And that also ended up being the birth of the annoying version of Vicky Guerrero.
100%.
If it's not
believes
mentioned.
this, just like Jerry Jarrett, that the
Hold on a second. Let me see if everything's okay with him. I'm back. Let's keep going.
Jeff Jarrett's father.
Yeah.
Real issues create real money, and when this is nothing that I didn't do in 2007. It's the same thing. You want to be a Guerrero. You're not. You'll never be a Guerrero. You're jealous of us. That whole thing, and people just latched onto it.
The feud between the two was mostly decent, yet Guerrero wasn't at Mysterio's level. Once the feud was over, Guerrero would be moved dramatically down the card, as WWE evidently didn't think he had what it took to be an upper card talent. Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, Dad, sucked it up.
From bad to worse in 2006 for Rey Mysterio, as after Chavo Guerrero had turned on him, Vicky Guerrero also turned her back on him and hit him with a steel
It's the way she felt and she hit the chair. It's the way she felt and she hit the chair.
chair. This was the time period in which Vicky was becoming a permanent on-screen character, and this was a smart way to get fans to absolutely hate her. Although she did that later on her own.
Oh, yeah.
Vicky did great in her role, as despite having limited TV experience, she was a natural at obtaining heat, and she had an incredible run in the company, managing names such as Edge and Dolph Ziggler, and of course, being the on-air authority figures for both Raw and SmackDown.
My God, when she first cut the heel promo on me backstage, and she would come up with that she could do as a heel, I went, she's a heel. Vicky's a natural heel. She was absolutely a natural.
You think
she's a Guerrero by merit.
You think? No, I mean, we can't stand her to this day because of that character.
And so by default, she lived the business, man.
Batista.
Yeah.
In 2009.
This was wild, man. This was wild, man. That the way he did was crazy, man.
WWE decided it was time to turn Batista heel for the first time since 2005. To make this heel turn work, WWE were going to have Batista turn on his on-screen tag team partner Rey Mysterio. It's worth noting that Mysterio and Batista had unbelievable chemistry as a tag team. It was truly heartbreaking to see Batista disintegrate the team.
It was.
The heel turn took place following a world title match at the Bragging Rights pay-per-view. Batista cut a promo directly to Mysterio, stating that Mysterio was supposed to be his friend. Batista then absolutely annihilated Mysterio to the utter horror of the fans. Batista would claim that Mysterio cost him the world title in the Fatal 4-Way world title match, and in Batista's defense, Mysterio did, but it was a world title match where everybody was doing whatever it took to win. The two were then feud for the rest of 2009 following the Bragging Rights pay-per-view event, and the heel turn and the babyface work of Mysterio allowed Batista to be instantly accepted.
Alright, hold on a second. Guess y'all just show Lila in the loop. Hold on. Alright, hold on a second. Got this. I'm back. Let's keep going.
As a new top heel in the company, Dominic Mysterio. Throughout 2000
I will say they did a great job as a heel because I can't stand them now. Oh.
2002, WWE were
And what's worse is that you got folks who it's like what's worse, you got folks who adore the Dirty Dom gimmick as well too, like to the masses, worse than they adore the Tribal Chief character. Ugh.
seats that Dominic Mysterio could potentially turn on his father. This was built over time, and when it finally happened at the Clash at the Castle event in Cardiff, Wales, it was an incredibly satisfying moment. Dominic began to deliver the finest work of his entire career as he was born to be a heel, and the feud between the father and son duo lasted several months, with WWE teasing an eventual showdown between the two. The match eventually went down at WrestleMania 39 and delivered everything fans could have wanted out of the matchup.
He's about 190, so it was very hard for him at the beginning to try to adapt and find his role as a wrestler. The comparisons were made, and of course he couldn't live up to them. Not until we separated and he continued on his own path without having his dad by his side, and that was the best thing that could have ever happened to him.
Ultimately, the Dominic heel turn from 2022 resulted in one of the best character transformations in WWE history, and both Dominic and his father deserve all the credit in the world for making this feud work. Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
WWE had a grand vision for Santos Escobar as a heel on SmackDown, and to achieve this heel turn, WWE booked Escobar to, surprise surprise, turn on his tag team partner Rey Mysterio. The two were part of the LWO faction, and Escobar would attack Mysterio and take him out of action. Whilst it looked like the two were going to face off in a singles match at WrestleMania 40, the match would end up being a tag match, as Mysterio would team with Andrade to take on Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. And finally, Carlito. The final name to date to turn on WWE Hall of Famer was Carlito. This took place in April of 2024, as it was revealed that Carlito was the one behind the attack on Dragon Lee. Whilst Carlito is better suited in a heel role, it has become an ongoing joke and now basically a meme that everyone turns on Rey Mysterio. This particular turn was incredibly predictable, and WWE need to book these styles of angles with more suspense. But there you have it, folks. Every wrestler to turn on Rey Mysterio.
Oh man, poor Ray. That's all I say. Right, poor Ray, man. He couldn't catch a break, man. No matter it's Ray and tag team does not mix, man. Everybody got to turn on him for real. I mean, from his best friend Eddie to his other best friend Chavo to the wife of his best friend Vicky to even many other his on-screen best friend Batista to even his own son turned him, man. Ray just couldn't catch a break. Who else want to turn him? Aaliyah? Sad. Anyway, or the rest of the yo, who knows? Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and comment down below. I know folks want to come with things, Ray's the problem, like, whatever. It's not right. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, it's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.